Hello. Hello.
Hi. Torres.
Hi, Nicole.
Don't be mad at me, but I went out. I wouldn't call it a date, but I went out with this guy that I met on Grindr. He invited me to drinks. But prior to that, we were having like a really good conversation like online on the app. Like I thought it was like normal. And it kind of got to a point to where like he was kind of like messaging me like a play-by-play of his day, to the point where like I couldn't help but think like, is this a little like, there's a phrase in Spanish. Have you ever heard of the term chicloso?
No.
Chicloso
No
is
sé.
chicloso is like a bubble gum. Like when you step on bubble gum and it gets like kind of sticky, it sticks. And so I felt like it was being like super chicloso, and I was like, okay, like I want to give this guy the benefit of the doubt, because he was really cool. He like took really great photos. I did see his Instagram.
This is a standard rat. He's fine. He took cool photos.
He really does beautiful photography.
I see why you opened now with don't get mad at me, but okay. Anyways,
he really makes beautiful photography, and I was like, oh, maybe the conversation will be really great about art, blah blah blah. And so, on a Saturday, like around 4, he's like, hey, are you free tonight for drinks? And I'm like, yeah, of course. Like, let's go to this bar in Long Beach. Should I say the location?
Yeah, sure.
Long Beach. Baby G, shout out. Great drinks. Experimental drinks, quirky drinks. Love the drinks there.
Is that the place with the Japanese bartender, or no, it's a different one?
It might be a different one.
Like, that's not the one that's like in like a back alleyway.
Wait, do you want to go there? I just met one.
It's called like Midnight Tokyo or something like that?
Yes. I feel like that was such a podcast moment.
Oh my god, girl. Oh my god, for the camera.
No, because I met this bartender named Sue through my other friend Nicole.
Okay.
And she's like a really great bartender. Okay, we gotta get drinks there. I gotta set up a day. The light is like hitting like your eye, and it looks like you have glitter in like your cornea, but it's not. It's the light reflecting. It's kind of crazy.
They call that key light? Eye light.
Yeah. It's like,
sorry, Gaffer friends. There's a term for it.
It's kind of crazy. Like it's kind of cut. But anyway, yeah, I met this girl named Sue. We should go to the bar.
They have weird hours though, or something, or like they're like a.
I think so.
I thought there was something weird about like the days, or this was also back when maybe they first opened, that it was like the days that they were open were really wonky.
Or
something.
They told me that the hours are kind of like off, I think.
But I do want to go, because I remember seeing, because it's like in an alleyway, and like it looks like just like a dark wood, like cozy vibe kind of thing.
Let me hit up Sue, because I did get her number. We were talking about like, I had this like fever dream of opening up a bar, but more on that later.
Okay.
But back to this guy.
Okay.
So we get to Baby G's. He buys me a drink. Very gentleman-like, really sweet of him. And the conversation is going good. Like, we're talking about family. We're talking about flower arrangements. We're talking about like upbringings, like coming out, all this stuff, right?
Okay.
And like the conversation is going really good. Like, I had like maybe like 2 drinks, and I know the Knicks were playing that night. So when the Knicks won, everybody at the bar got shots. If I have to say anything about Baby G's, shout out Baby G's, the bartenders there, great. The owner, fantastic. Like, it's a really great bar. I don't know if they outright say this, but I would consider it a queer bar.
I was going to ask you, because I was like, I was like Falcon Room or something, I don't know. Like, we
don't talk about the Falcon.
Yeah, I don't know. Or, yeah, it's because Que Sera is no longer like a official lesbian bar or whatever. I heard that it was like technically at one point.
I don't know, because
it's definitely not anymore.
I mean, I feel like Que Sera, I consider Baby G, Que Sera, Alex's Bar, even Grasshopper, I consider them queer bars. Oh, special guest. Hi, girl. Hello. Hannah, everybody. Hannah.
Introducing. Anyways.
And I think what's really great about this bar is you really get a variety of people.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like queerness is very much about that. I don't think they outright say that. I don't know if they ever establish themselves as that. But I think they're, with Baby G's, it kind of really exemplifies that. I do like the Falcon when there's nobody there. Because I feel like I'm in the middle of the desert and I found out there's this gay bar like in the middle of nowhere. And it's like, oh, this is where all the trailer trade comes and hooks up, you know? But more on that later. Anyway, off tangent, but related. Anyway, sorry.
Ooh, don't get mad at me. I'm going to really derail your story. I forgot I have to give you water.
That's a great use of the title.
Don't get mad at me.
Like,
this is your water. Do you want to guess where it's from?
Is it from Hawaii?
No.
Where's it from?
Rainforest Cafe.
Who just went to? Oh, but you went to Rainforest Cafe.
Cafe. That was me.
For some, I remember that. But Jake also has a weird fascination. I keep mentioning my friend Jake. He has a weird fascination with Rainforest Cafe, which is kind of like.
Has he been?
I think so. He had a whole something about Pokemon cards. Like Rainforest Cafe started selling Pokemon cards.
I don't know about that.
Can we say Pokemon cards? Anyway.
Anyways, there was a cocktail that came in that, and they were like, you get to have your own souvenir glass to take home. And I was like, okay. Oh, weird. I just noticed that that there's like a crack in the face. Interesting. Oh, well.
It is some porcelain.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? Well, maybe I'll save that story for later about my grandpa's dead parrot, but that's on another occasion.
Okay.
Dia
de los Perritos. I don't know. ¿Cómo se dice?
Cotorros. Cotorros. BBG's bar date. Okay.
Had a couple of drinks.
Had a couple of drinks.
Woo, shots for everyone.
So I had like 2 drinks and then like a shot. And the guy had maybe like 3 drinks, 4 drinks, like in like a shot.
Okay. We were there for like a few hours. So it's very.
Yeah.
Like, you're not getting like wasted or anything.
No. But things kind of go like south. So the whole time we start talking about our relationships and we start talking about breakups and we start talking about like, you know, I specifically like to talk about like the growth that happens like post breakup. And I remember at some point in the conversation, I was saying like, you know, there were moments that like I would wake up and I would look myself in the mirror and I would say I look like shit. I feel like shit. And like, how do I go about like resolving that? Do I go around community? Do I go around my family? Like, do I go around people to remind me that I'm not those things, right? And then, you know, grow, move on, etc. And it just kind of felt like after I said that, he would say stuff like, well, I never say that to myself. I never say anything negative about me. I never tell myself I look like shit. I would never do that. And I'm like, okay, but like, nobody said that you...
Like you weren't implying that.
I wasn't implying that. Like I was trying to have a very earnest, in-depth conversation. Which, like, I have to admit this about myself. I can be a little bit intense in terms of the type of questions that I ask. But that's because I value depth and I value, like, emotional intelligence. I know this was just, like, a friend outing. But even with my friendships, I feel like I think everybody can attest to it that I'm close to. That, like, I value those types of conversations.
I mean, I'd call you, like, I think you're very earnest is what I would say.
Yeah.
I would use the term, like, I think you're just very, like, and, like, you think about things like that. And so you wouldn't, but I think just also, I mean, maybe also he didn't know you, but also just, like, in knowing you, it's pretty obvious that if you make a comment like that, you're not saying, like, you do that. I don't know.
Yeah.
The defensive was uncalled for.
Yeah. Like, I never do it with the intention of, like, bringing anybody down. It's more just, like, I'm trying to illustrate a point to you and, like, trying to relate to you. And so it just seemed like, I told this story to one of my girlfriends and she was just kind of saying it just kind of feels like you were holding a mirror in front of him, but that wasn't my intention. It's like, it just seemed like every point of my experience post breakup made it seem like it was like a deliberate attack towards him. And like, it felt like, it kind of felt like, I don't know. It's like, I'm going to center this around myself. Right. And so it was just really weird. And at some point, like during the conversation, he kept like, can I touch you? He kept like doing this to me. And I was like subtly trying to say like, oh, you really love touching. Completely went over his head. And at some point during the conversation, like he kept like cutting me off. And I had to be like, hey man, like I'm really trying to make a point to you right now. And I'm really trying to like talk to you. And like you keep cutting me off. And like, he's like, oh, I'm really sorry. Like, I'll let you talk now. And then he like interrupted me again. So it's one of those things I was just kind of like, dude, like, what is going on here? So eventually, like, you know, I try to end the night as smoothly as possible with him. And I think he kind of caught wind that I was a little bit, like, annoyed. So we gave each other a hug. I said bye. He's like, text me when you get home. I got home. I did not text him back. But he's like, did you get home? I'm like, yeah, I got home. So the next morning, he, like, texted me, like, around 11 saying, like, how's your morning going? And I was
Was
just
there a
like,
little smiley face with that?
I might have. I'm not too sure. It's, oh, go ahead.
I haven't been on this date, but I feel like this is bringing back memories of dates that I've had that then it's always followed up with like that, how's your morning going? Or how's your day looking or whatever, but it always has that little like 90s, the colon smiley face, you know?
It's kind of sneaky, you know? Is it sneaky? Is the word sneaky?
It feels interesting.
Like
I don't know.
Like a hidden motive type of thing?
Kind of. I don't know. Okay, anyways, he texts you, but it's like 11 a.m., so it's like a decent hour to text you.
A decent hour
like,
to
he knows
text
you're
me.
awake.
Yeah, and like, to be fair, like, I've been in the middle of like redoing my apartment since December, but I've been getting rid of stuff, drilling stuff on the walls, spray painting stuff. And so I was like just kind of reflecting upon the conversation we had yesterday. And I was like, I don't think I want to continue this. Like, I don't want, like, this was just like an outing as friends, but I don't even really see this like evolving to a friendship. Because like, I think one of the things that I started doing is like, I use like my healthy friendships as like a baseline for things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I use that as like a baseline to really like think about, okay, like, is this person really like reciprocating? Is this person really hearing me out? Is this person like understanding where I'm coming from? Even though it wasn't a date, like even as friends, like I expect that from the people I care about, right? Or the people that I'm friends with. And so I just kind of decided like to just end this or just not.
Wait, how was it that you met this person?
It was Grindr.
It was Grindr. Okay.
Grindr.
Oh yeah, because you broke your Grindr fast.
Yeah. And so you will never know who I am. I'm incognito, girl. Anyway,
did I just out you on Grindr? Lo siento, but also not really.
I don't know. If you know me, you know me. Anyway, more on that later. But I decided like, okay, I think one of the things, and I'm not proud of this, I would ghost people. I wouldn't tell people like, you know, the reason why I just didn't want to talk to them. I would just ghost them. And it's shitty. It's happened to me. I've done it to people. Like, it's a really shitty thing to do. And so I was like, you know what? Like, I need to be earnest with this guy and just let him know. And so I sent a message. I'm like, hey, he sent a follow-up around 11 p.m. And he said like, I hope I didn't leave that bad of an impression. And I followed up with like, no, not at all. Thanks for following up. But, you know, upon reflecting our conversation, I just feel like I don't think this is going to lead to a friendship. And so I don't think I want to continue this any further. And I said, best of luck. Take care. And I like blocked him right after because I just don't see the point of keeping his number. Mm. But I don't know, just one of those things where it's just kind of like, I may be overanalyzing this and I don't know what his intention is, but like, I don't think, not even my friends will tell me a play-by-play of what they're doing. Because like, you're independent of like your own like life and what you do. I don't need to know every single detail. That's why we have these hangouts and that's why we have this podcast to like catch up and stuff. I don't know. I can give assumptions as to why he would give me a play-by-play by his day, right? I don't know if it could be because he feels lonely, maybe because he's actually looking for something. I don't know what it might be. But I just don't, for me, I don't think it's something that's like healthy in my life because I don't need to know every single second of what you're doing.
That's all just a lot of text. Like in my head, I'm thinking like, that's actually a lot of like if I was to text you, hey Torres, good morning. Hey, I'm getting ready to run to the store. Hey, I'm going to Sprouts first. Hey, I really need pork chops today. You know, like if I was giving you a play-by-play or if you were giving me a play-by-play, I'd be like, why do I have 43 unread messages from you? Like, did someone die? Oh, no, you were just at Costco getting toilet paper using your mom's membership. Okay, like, you know. Like, I
have my own membership, by the way.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, you are a grown-up. I forget.
My mom did tell me to join the membership, which I should have done. But anyway, yeah.
But like, because I'm not even thinking, I'm like, do I even... I don't... Would you expect or want a play-by-play from, like, someone you we're crushing on, or like we're starting to date or dating, like full on, or like is that just an absolute? You're like, why? Again, we're gonna see each other.
I think the play-by-play should happen when I see you. Like,
okay.
I think the play-by-play should happen when, like, we're talking, or, like, we're present.
Which is not a play-by-play. That's just a, how was your day? Because, like, that's like, it's the whole thing about, right, where, like, I'll do a thing where I won't tell you something over, like, I won't tell you everything over text, because I'm like, no, I don't want you to then show up and be like, well, you already know everything. Like, you have all the updates, so, like, you know, what are we going to talk about? Not like that would happen, but I feel like I will just sometimes, not intentionally withhold information, but I'll be like, oh, I'm going to see you later, so I'll tell you about that then.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. It just, I don't know, it's like, if we're doing a play-by-play during text, like, girl, that's us gossiping. Like, that's us, like, talking fucking chisme. Like, that's us, like, me fucking, like, can you believe this fucking bitch? Like, you know, that type of thing, because I don't know, it's like, it's funny because, like, this is a theory that I have. I feel like, specifically with this person, they said that they strictly want to be single. But it's like the way that you're talking to me just seems like someone who's like really interested, like wants to engage. Like, I don't know. I kind of felt like there was more within the subtext of like, do you know what I'm saying?
It's this thing that maybe girls do this too. I don't know. I, haven't dated girls, so I don't know. But boys will do this thing where I call it like they're really good at being a boyfriend. And they only really know how to interact with someone in the context of like a date, or like you could be a date, as a, like, their default is to treat you like a boyfriend, not to be like, ooh, hey, I've been on a few first dates at this point, and so maybe I'll be a little bit more reserved, or maybe like I'll treat this more as a friendship, paying first and then a date later, or what. But it's things of like, because like, how I've seen those posts online of people being like, oh, like, what's something that a man will tell you right before he ghosts you? And there's all these girls replying. It'll be things like, what do you want to name our kids? And, oh, like, I can't wait to spend the rest of my life with you. And, oh, here, I brought flowers because I remember that it was like, your dead relative's like anniversary passing yesterday. Or like really thoughtful things like that, and then they'll just full on ghost you. And it's because like that.
Is that thoughtful or is that crazy? I'm not really sure.
I think it's a little bit cruel and unusual, but like, I think a small amount of it can be chalked up to like, there are guys that I've been on dates with or been friends with or just seen behave this way, where like, they were dating someone for a long time, like they're in a long-term relationship, right? That breakup happens, and then when they try to get back into the dating game, they don't know how to be like dating. They only know how to be like a boyfriend. So then they treat like all these first dates as like boyfriend type of thing, or like first crushes at like post breakup as a boyfriend or whatever. And like, I don't know if you went through that or not. I feel like I've gone through that sometimes, where it's like getting out of a relationship is like you have to like kind of reset and be like, no, wait, like I'm out here dating again to try to find a partner, but like I cannot treat you like a partner because you're not a partner yet. And we've talked about this, right? About like, don't give them boyfriend treatment. They're not your boyfriend.
Do you think, so we had a conversation about this yesterday, and I've been reflecting on this a lot, but it's,
that's a conversation for the Patreon. Let's monetize our personalities now.
Let's keep it brief for the next episode. But like, we've been talking about like, well, I had mentioned to Nicole about how I have this like all or nothing like mentality when it comes to dating. Friendships, I'm very nuanced, very subtle. I feel like there's a lot of different like values of black and white in between that I feel like I can confidently say that I treat my friendships all in that way. But I think when it comes to relationships, it's like, it's not an easy thing for me to admit. I think the moment I take a whiff of like romance from someone, it's like, it's all or nothing. Go in it head first, right? And so I wonder, like, do you think this is something that's just natural for people that want romance, or do you think that this is more specifically just geared to all men, straight or gay, or presenting?
I mean, like, we don't want to generalize, right? All men want it, not all men. Although I hate that, but anyways, like, I think some of it could be, I don't know, because also isn't some of it also just being like also just a lack of like reading the room? Because like you're not obviously texting him back a play-by-play of your day, and I don't know how you were responding to the text or if you were responding to the text or not. But like, you know, I'm assuming you weren't necessarily encouraging him to like give this play-by-play, and instead of him going, oh, I'm not really getting like a positive response for what I'm putting out there, so maybe I should adjust a little bit, or like. Or maybe it was that whole, well, he must be fine with it if he didn't say to stop, you know, and like, I don't know. It's just.
I feel like with him, I think there was this eagerness to get somewhere. I don't know.
Oh, he's like rushing?
Yeah, but I don't know what that destination was for him.
Probably to hook up.
It could be to hook up. It could be to be in a relationship. I don't know what it was. But it just felt like rushed. Like I didn't even rush my friendships like this. And so there was like this whole conversation I had with my friend, shout out, love that diva, where I was like telling him like, it's funny because he just called because he just like got out of but I was talking about how, you know, men want to like rush into something, right? They want to rush into a relationship. But in this case, it was like, it's interesting because like, I wonder if there's this whole thing about rushing into a friendship. Like people that crave that community, people that want to have those like friends in their lives, right? It's like, I'm going to talk about it like it is like a romantic relationship, but it isn't. But like, you know, I feel like our friendship, right? Like it took time to get to where we are now. Like we've had very in-depth conversations. We got to know each other. We have been very vulnerable with each other, right? Like there's a timeline that kind of follows with it. And I feel like with this guy, and I kind of feel like it's someone like that in like the gay world, or maybe just more so with like men in general, or I don't know, maybe people that crave that community where they just want to rush into like getting that close. You know what I'm saying?
I just realized that like in this podcast, no one has dated a girl. I mean, actually, I don't know. Have you dated a girl?
I mean, like high school, middle school.
Okay. So you have, but not like as a grown-up dated a girl.
Not with the new ones I have, girl. Girl, well, I kissed a girl and I was like, this is not for me, mama.
I did not like it.
You can put that tongue back. I do not want it in my mouth. Lovely girl. You know who you are. I'm sorry that happened. But, sorry, continue.
I was going to say, because you're talking about rushing and whatever. You're like, is it all men? And I'm like, have you ever heard the term U-Haul lesbian?
I think you know what I want to say, but I'm not even going to say it. Because if I say it, my ass is going to be fucking grilled, bitch.
I know. But like, it's not a man thing, I don't think, to be like rushing something, right? And especially like in this context, let's just say this dude like wanted to hook up. Like, yeah, he's going to try to rush to get to that end because like, you know, it's kind of like
U-Haul friendships. Can we call it that?
Yeah, I mean, well, but it's different though, right? When it's two parties both being like, yay, enthusiastic yeses, right? Because like, you know, I have friendships that like have very much so started that way where it's both people being like, you want to be friend? I want to be friend? Cool. And then like we've seen each other every single day for, you know, a while, or like we'll see each other multiple times a week. And like usually just because it involves like an activity like volleyball or surfing or climbing or something that's like, oh, hey, I'm already doing this a lot and you're doing this a lot. Let's do it a lot together. And it does accelerate the friendship. But I think it almost, I don't know.
Excuse me.
Enthusiasm is not like a bad thing. Like that's why someone being like excited to share their world with you, I don't think is a bad thing. I think it's one of those examples of you just did not like him. Like this would be different if this person showed up and you were like, oh my God, I'm imagining our children together, you know? And then they're enthusiastically sharing with you and it would be like oh yay, like I mean to you, or I matter to you, and like I'll also share with you that, right? It's like when there's the equal, both people are in it.
You're touching on something really interesting, and I feel like environment comes like into play, like into these like dynamics. When you talked about like volleyball or I don't know, going to the beach or whatever, right? Like I feel like there is this like activity, location, right? Where you can kind of foster and nurture that friendship to grow. Because when I think about us, like, we met at our job. You were like one of my coworkers, like assistants, and so we really got to know each other within that atmosphere. And we're like both in education. Was I doing my master's the same time as you?
Not yet, no.
Like, I knew you were doing your master's. I was going to get into my master's. And so there was this relatability. Like, when I think about, like, I'm not specifically just talking about Grindr, but I think apps in general. It's like, and I'm not saying this applies to everybody, but we're like using the digital space as the environment. There's no like, you're using this pencil to fill out your documents. Oh, you like sitting in that chair. Oh, you like going to this place at Beach Hut or whatever, right? Like,
doesn't that get into the conversation of like third spaces and like, ooh, how are we supposed to build community without these spaces to meet people in a neutral setting or whatever, right? And like the thing with apps that, you know, my whole thing with why dating apps are, they can either be really great, but they can also be really difficult, is because like in one way it's cool because you get outside of your normal, like, you know, this would be your dating pool because these are the people that you like live with, work with, play with in your area, or they're friends of friends or whatever, right? But then on dating apps, they're like, oh, you have this additional set that like I would never have met you in my normal life, either because you don't live near where I live, or because like, you know, maybe our schedules are a little bit opposite or something, or like we don't share the same activities, or we do share the same activities, just we do them in different locations or whatever. And like the nice thing about apps is that it connects those people, right? To be like, oh, hey, this is someone outside of your realm that you wouldn't have met otherwise. The problem, I think, is that, at least for me, what I found before, because I never really used the apps a lot. I was on like, I think I've maybe tried like 2 or 3 of the different ones, like during my different periods of singleness, right? And like every time the most frustrating thing would be if I connected with someone really well on an app, it would then be like so annoying to try to find a time to actually see them because they didn't fit in my regularly scheduled programming as far as like my life, like my work, my hobbies, my friends of friends, like they didn't fit in that. So it was cool to meet them because they weren't part of that normal, you know, the novelty, all that thing, right? But then when it came to actually being like, hey, cool, when can I see you again? It would be like, oh, well, either you don't live near me or you're on a different schedule. Ooh, firework. I don't know if my mic's picked that up. Anyways.
Viva Mexico.
Yeah. And so I don't know if like it's one of those things where you then have to be like, ooh, if you really want to make this work, you've got to sacrifice something in your normal life, right? To like then try to meet up with this person outside of your normal circle.
But see, isn't that already like such a big like commitment for someone you want to be friends with that you just barely met?
Well, I'm talking about dating apps. I'm not talking about friendships. I'm talking about trying to find your forever person using your little phone box thing, you know, like.
Box is crazy.
Yeah. But like, I'm not talking about friendships. I think friendships, they can follow a very similar thing. I don't know. I think I treated dating and friendships differently. Because with me, with dating, it was always, at least as I've just, you know, gone through my different periods of single, not single, all those things, like, I've refined what it's like being a sommelier. At some point, you become a sommelier of men. Oh, that sounds really bad. No, I don't mean it that way. But like, you know, you get to know your preferences and, oh, these are the tasting notes in this type of man. This sounds so bad, but anyways.
I've tested too many dishes.
It's, you get your preferences, you know, and it's just a thing where at a certain point I'd be like, cool, here's a deal breaker for me. Yes or no? Oh, we don't align on that? Okay, cool. Well, like, it was cool, but like, we're gonna, you know, sashay away. So,
you gotta put that gay reference in there, girl. She said ally shit.
Yes, from 2007. Was it 2000? That's an old.
It's sort of 2007.
Sashay was like in the same realm as like Kiki and the fork and the garbage disposal and all that. I think. Talk about pride.
Happy Pride, everybody.
Oh, that should be a Halloween costume.
What?
Kiki and a fork in the garbage disposal. To the fork in the garbage disposal.
Hannah's leaving now.
Oh, wow. Way to be an ally, Hannah.
You know what's funny? You just reminded me of this date that I went on where, like, there was this, oh God, he was a fuck. I felt he was a fine ass man. Tall guy. I think he was no, I should have gotta keep things mysterious here. He was a tall man.
I don't think mysterious has ever described you, but yes.
I'm a Scorpio girl. You'd think that would apply to me. Mid-Scorpio, by the way. It was a tall guy, had a beautiful deep voice. And I think he I don't know if he used to be a football player. I can't remember that part. But I remember, this is on our second, I think it was our second date. The first day we went really well because we were like having really interesting conversation, really great questions. And we started talking about what we were looking for in a relationship. And then he says, yeah, you know, I just want my boyfriend to be my most prized possession. And I was like,
eject.
What? Like, it sounded like I was talking to like a straight man, and I've been told that I have a type.
Your type is straight acting men that look like you.
He didn't look like me though.
But he acted straight. He was a little bit toxic. A little bit possessive.
Oh, he was possessive. Well, I don't know. It's like...
Oh, wait, that tells me... Okay, sorry. That goes back to my... that's not going to distract my
Wait,
Kiki.
girl, you know what'd be funny? If you did like little like subtitles for all that thing that you just said. You should do that.
No,
Can you edit that in?
Subtitles? Just what? Just text. No. With friendships, I don't start off with deal breakers.
What do you mean?
As in, like, you were talking about, like, you know, like, talking about deal breakers and dating and whatever. And you're like, ooh, do we align on this or not? With friendships, I don't go, like, here's my friendship deal breaker. Do we align on that or not? I'm like, oh, I mean, it'll come out if it comes out. And if not, like, you're a friend and I'll see you. Like, what level? Like, if we don't align on this deal breaker, but say we still surf together, like, I'll still be your friend, but I just know that you won't go any deeper than this level of friendship.
Huh. Wait, I feel like I'm learning a lesson here.
Versus if I'm dating you and we don't align on a deal breaker, how am I supposed to build a life with someone that doesn't believe in credit scores?
Can I like take this recording and send it to my therapist? Like, I feel like you're touching on something that's
I'm so sorry, Hannah.
I feel like you're touching...
I thought she's deaf.
That's what
Maybe
I
she's
thought.
not.
I was
don't know.
like, she probably felt the vibration, but I feel like you're touching on something really interesting because then that helps set the expectations for that type of relationship, right?
As far as like a deal breaker or not deal breaker or friendship or whatever.
Yeah,
or like...
yeah. You're touching on something really interesting.
Yeah, because I mean, like, you know, there's some friends that are like, you know, they're your like activity friends where you're like, yeah, if I was having like a distressing moment, I wouldn't necessarily call you up because you're an activity friend. There's other friends that are like, oh, if I was being distressed, like, depending what it was about, maybe I would call you, maybe not. Like, you know, like, but it's the whole different levels of friendship and all that stuff.
There's this ongoing joke with, like, I think all my friends where, like, the moment a guy is nice to me, I automatically think, like, oh my God, the cashier at Trader Joe's is hitting on me. Like, no, Torres, they're trained to be nice to people. I don't know, like, Ross was looking at me. There's no guy named Ross. I'm just using an arbitrary name. But they're like, oh, like, Ross was talking to me this way. And they're like, no, Torres, like, no. Am I delusional?
Yeah, and it's fun. He was looking at you, Torres. He did. Did you see the way that he handled that green onion bundle?
There was some fine ass, like, Trader Joe's trade the other day. He was like this tall, like thick mustache, thick muscles, and I was like, oh. I think I asked one of the cashiers, like, hey, like, is he gay? And they were like, girl, he has a wife. And I'm like, oh.
You're like, but you didn't answer my question, though.
Oh, what was your question?
Is he gay?
No, he wasn't gay. He had a wife.
Aww.
I don't know. I feel like, what does it say about me being delusional?
I mean, don't you have to be a little bit delusional, though? Like, to continue dating and, like, to continue going out on first dates and, like, meeting people and, like, putting yourself out there. And, like, and it is different because you are a guy trying to date guys and, like, you also have the added layer trying to be like, ooh, straight or not, you know, and that whole thing. But, like, imagine if you weren't delusional and you operated, like, you know, the guy that you went on a date with, I know you just had a realization of, like, who would want to date me, you know, like...
Oh, this is a great story. The Can I say store names? I can say store names, right?
Yeah. We have no sponsors. Thank God. We have all the freedom. We can say whatever we want.
Target Guy. Remember Target Guy?
Yeah, I do remember Target Guy.
Okay. Great story. So,
I've tried to look for him when I've gone, but I just don't like.
I don't know.
I don't think I go frequently enough, maybe, or maybe I don't go in that section. But
I don't know if they put him in the back or like in storage and stuff. But anyway, so
you say in storage, they put the whole man in storage.
There was this fine ass man in the electronics section, and I remember I was like, at the time I was taking a bunch of Polaroids with friends, and I would decorate them with stickers, which is like super fun to do. So I would go to the electronics section and I would get the Fuji Max like Polaroid, small Polaroid strips or whatever. And I was like, you know, in that section, I was like looking for someone to open it for me. And then I hear this guy say, "Hey, do you need some help getting that film out?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, thanks." He like comes out, gets the film. We go to the register. He's like, "So how's your day going?" I'm like, "Oh, it's going pretty good. Like, everything's good." He's like, "Okay, well, here's your film. Like, have a good day." I'm like, "Okay, great." Next week I go get my film. Go to the electronics section again. And I'm like looking for the film. And I hear a voice say, "Hey, are you looking for this?" And it's the same guy with the film in his hand. And I was like, "Oh, okay." Like, and so we start talking and like, I'm like, "Oh, like, what's your name?" Bleep. My name is Torres, blah, blah, blah. And so we're chatting, we're talking about each other's day, what we do for work, outside of work, whatever. And so like, it came to a point to like, anytime I was in the electronics section, he would be ready there with my phone. Like, it's like he knew I was there, which was kind of crazy.
It's giving like early 2000s rom-com.
It was literally
Matthew McConaughey.
It was literally giving rom-com. Like
Matthew McConaughey.
Girl. It's Pride Month. We gotta give her credit. And so I remember I was like, girl, I was gonna make a Drew Barrymore reference, but I forgot that movie she was in. Never Been Kissed.
Oh.
Yeah. Forgot the reference. Anyway. Love Drew Barrymore. So, at some point, I was like also in this like phase where like I wanted to meet people outside of the apps. So I was like, you know what, Torres? Like, let's just.
Yeah, hence your grinder fast.
I'm like 2 weeks in, 3 weeks in? I can't remember. I was like.
Asterisk past tense.
The most days I think I spent was like 100 days. So we actually did pretty good. Okay. Anyway, back to this. So I was like, Torres, I went to go get my film. And he was there, and then I got my film. Like, he's like, "Oh, have a good day." I'm like, "Oh, yeah, have a good day." And I was like, Torres, like, you gotta do it. You gotta do it, man. You gotta tell him, invite him out to coffee. So, my biggest fear, I think, when it comes to flirting with men out in the wild, that you don't know if they're gay or straight. Mm-hmm. So, me being fucking, I don't want to call myself dumb, but like, just such a fucking silly question. I go up to him, I'm like, "Hey, he's like, "Oh, what's up?" I just wanted to like, know if, you, swing for my team. And then he's like, swing for your team? Like, do I play baseball? I'm like,
I thought that was only a thing you say about lesbians.
Girl.
I didn't know that was a gay term.
Girl,
I guess you didn't know it was a gay term either
until
that
like,
moment.
It was like, swing for your team. I'm like, "Oh, like, are you free for like,
no.
Are you free for like, coffee?" And he was like, "Coffee? Are you? Torres, are you asking me out on a date?" I'm like,
I'm crumpling inside for you. I've already heard the story, and every time I still crumple inside.
And I was like, yeah. And he was like, "Oh, Torres, I have a wife and kids." I have a wife and kids. I don't know how people are going to react to this. I have a wife and kids, and I was just like, oh. But Torres, like, I just want to let you know, like, you're so handsome, and I'm sure you're going to find someone.
Like, that's the kindest way you could respond, right? Because, like,
he was so sweet about it.
Like, that is such, I feel like, a good example of, like, being really gentle in the turn down, but and like not making you feel humiliated,
No. Like he was so sweet. Like what I liked about this guy, like he was all tatted up and like tough and like super handsome, and I'm like, oh girl. Anyway, but the way that he like handled the situation was like, Torres, like you're a handsome guy. I'm sure you're gonna find someone. Like, and I'm like, I'm so sorry. He's like, no, don't be sorry. Like, how would you know? And then he was like laughing, and then he said like, my wife is gonna love this, and I was like, oh my god. And I just said bye, and we just like laughed about it. But in my head, I was like so mortified and sweating bullets. Like, it's easy for me to get vulnerable and like be open with things about my life, but like when I put myself in those situations, it's just like,
well, that's scary. I feel like in general, right? Like that's approaching someone in the wild and asking them out in that way is like scary, regardless, right? Having the extra layer of like, ooh, don't know if you bat for my team or not. Don't know about that one. That's extra scary, right? Tying that in though to your whole what?
You know, maybe a great like skit or like a great like show to see. Like, you know how there's like sports commentators for like soccer and like football?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you should be like hidden somewhere in the store with like binoculars and giving like a play-by-play to like the audience on like how like I'm flirting and reaching out to guys in the wild.
No, I do that. I'll do that like at bars, not with a play-by-play, but like my favorite thing is you go to a bar when it's like kind of somewhat crowded, so you can talk and like people won't hear you, and you sit with someone else and you go, oh, do you think that's a first date or second date over there? All right, cool. The way she's looking at you, you just talk about other people. I don't know.
Maybe we should do that at the gay bar. Can we do that one day?
Just sit and talk about people?
No, like, okay, so
for me to narrate you approaching men?
That maybe it's a fantasy world that could be funny. But I think it would be funny if we went to a bar together. We pretend we don't know each other. So you're sitting next to me at like the fucking bar and you're hearing me flirt with a guy at the bar. And then you could be like, girl, this is a fucking train wreck. What are we doing here?
I had a recent realization that I do not know how my friends are on dates versus the friends that I see that when we hang out. Because I had this... I love playing matchmaker. I love setting up my single friends with each other to go out on dates, and especially when they're blind dates and they don't know anything about each other. They don't know how each other look. All this things, right? And through this process, I have sometimes heard about how like one of my friends is during a date versus how I know my friend when we're just hanging out and chilling and being buddies, right? And I've been like, ooh, interesting. I wouldn't have expected you to act that way on a first date, but good to know. I don't know, so.
You know, it's funny that you say that because I feel like there's a side that I talk about that I don't think people get to see. I don't know. It's not because I'm hiding it from you guys, but I think it's just like, I think that side of me only engages when it's being reciprocated with the other person.
Well, there's you code switch. I've seen you code switch and stuff.
Girl,
so.
When you see me act straight, it's like, who's this train?
Yeah, I know. I heard it with my sister's boyfriend like forever ago, and I was like, oh, that's a different voice than I usually hear. Okay.
We got to the hockey story at some point. Not today.
That'll be later.
The hockey story is a great story, by the way.
Oh, speaking of hockey, I watched Heated Rivalry again with
such a great show.
I don't know. He still needs a nickname. That boy. We'll give him a nickname at some point.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. The British took his trees. I don't know. He'll get a better nickname than that. But we watched Heated Rivalry, and you want to know the I thought he had the best summary of it in that he was like, yeah, it's kind of like a will they, won't they, but like you're rooting for them the whole time, kind of, and it's like a story of like perseverance and love and like, growth.
Healthy relationships. Ish. Idealist? Idealistic?
I think it's maybe realistic, really. I don't know, actually. I don't know about healthy. I think it's a nice depiction of the way something like a hookup can turn into a full-on something or other. Spoilers, sorry, but if you haven't watched it by now, you're not going to watch it, so... But the funniest summary I thought that he had said is that he was like, yeah, it also just kind of like, he was like, even after saying all that, he was like, yeah, it also just kind of confirmed for me, like, like, oh, actually I realized I should probably ask him about if he's okay if I talk about him on the podcast.
We'll put a pause on
if he's not, I'll ask him, and if not, I'll cut this part out. But he was like, watching that show basically helped, like, not that he needed confirmation, but it really, really confirmed his straightness, Because even though he was like, oh, you know, like, great love story, very cute, all these other things, you know, he was just like, yeah, you know, we watched everything, and it's just...
Didn't we watch it till like 4 a.m.?
Yeah, we watched it till like... Yeah, we watched the whole season in a night.
I remember when I saw the show with her, I was like bawling.
Oh, we went through like a whole box of tissues, I think. I cried again, though. Like, this was like my third time rewatching it all. And yeah, but I thought that was pretty... But this was my first time watching it with a textbook straight man. So it was interesting watching it with that and being like there would be the scene, I'd be like, oh, there's a lot of butts going on. Let's see, does he find this? And he was like, oh, okay. And then I asked him after, I was like, well, when you watching it, what's going on there? And he's like, oh, you know, it's like, I was like, and it's just a confirmation of his sexuality. And I was like, huh, interesting. Okay, good to know.
I think that's a fair thing to say.
Yeah.
It's funny that you mentioned that. I miss doing this with my sisters. So there's a movie, I think it's on Amazon Prime or Hulu, I can't remember. It's like Red, White, and Royal Blue.
Oh, I don't know that one.
So it's basically about this like guy who's like the Prince of England, and then the son of like the US president like fall in love. And their whole thing is like, the president's son, I think, is out, but the Prince of England isn't. So it's this whole thing about like, being true to their love, but also being open out to the public because they're royal or whatever, right? So I saw that film with like my sisters. They're all like teenagers, they're young of age. And I just remember, I didn't know how spicy that like movie was gonna be, but anytime they came out naked and started kissing, me and my sister would be like, ah! And like, ah! And like they'd be Fujoshuing out? I might be mispronouncing that. But essentially, anytime there was like a fucking naked ass man, like gay men just having sex and shit, we'd just be screaming and fucking just like excited to see. And so I kind of wish, or I still might be able to do this, but I want to watch Heated Rivalry with my sisters. I feel like they would really enjoy that.
If they haven't seen it already, like I'd be shocked.
I don't think they've seen it.
Okay.
I feel like, I don't know, it's interesting because like, I feel like whenever it's about gay romance, I wonder if is it the whole thing about seeing men being really vulnerable and being really like precious and open about their feelings that women get like, sorry, let me take a few steps back here.
Do you know what the majority of the audience is of Heated Rivalry?
I know. Oh yeah, a female author. That's right. Yeah. And so
there's actually a big criticism of Heated Rivalry right now because of like, they're like, it's written for, it's the whole idea of like it's being written by someone not part of the community, or like it's in a way
do you know, oh go ahead,
what's it called when you're like you're writing something in the way that you think it is, not the way that like maybe someone in the community would write about it or whatever. Anyways, that's a whole other podcast, and we're also like kind of running out of time, so
okay. Well, one last thing, because I do have to pee too. There's this whole thing about do you know the difference between like yaoi and like bara?
Is that a furry reference?
I mean, it can be furry for both, but like from what I understand, like yaoi in its like history, it's always about female authors writing about the female gaze, but using gay characters to tell this story.
Okay.
Whereas with bara, it's the male gaze talking about gay men. So it can be the same, but in history, it's been a very different thing between the both of them. So like using that as kind of like a base to talk about Heated Rivalry, I think like it's in the same nature as yaoi, where like, I wonder if with the author is like maybe talking about these things about, you know, her experience as a woman through these like gay characters, or maybe the expectations that she wants these male characters to have. I haven't really done much research in terms of like, oh, go ahead. I was like,
I'm raising my hand,
yes,
teacher.
Go ahead.
No. That's a full circle onto like the date that you opened the podcast talking about with like the way he's treating
full
you.
circle.
And how I feel like we've had this conversation so many times where like you will tell me about an experience you've had with like a man that you've been on a date with, or a man that you are dating.
Oh, I know where this is going.
Yeah, and I'll be like, oh, okay. Yes, you're being treated like a woman is what you're saying. Oh, he's interrupting you? Okay, yeah. Oh, he's touching you weirdly during the conversation? Oh, okay. Oh, he's being a little overbearing and really not taking the hint? Okay. I'm sorry for the record that you have to experience that. But also it's interesting for me to see, because you're a dude dating other dudes, and I'm like, oh, so maybe it's not me being treated like that because I'm a woman. Maybe it's just some men will treat their dates that way.
Well, it's also too like
Helicopter, sorry.
Men.
Anyways.
Do we have the copyright for that?
I don't know. I hope it's not copyrighted. That thing's like 16 years old.
I mean, this would probably be for like a later episode, but I think it goes back to that whole thing, like, men are gonna be men. And that really sucks. And like, I don't know. I'll leave this last bit because I know I'm gonna go on a whole thing if I elaborate on this more. I always thought growing up that like, if you are gay or come out as gay, somehow you have your emotions figured out, you have your like values figured out, you have all that stuff figured out. But it doesn't complete the work that you have to do as a man, woman, non-binary, whatever it may be. It's like you still have these like old ideals on how to like treat people that is not like the right way to do. And so
the patriarchy.
Correct. The patriarchy informs a lot of the decisions that these men do. And so it's real unfortunate because like, I think I'm the type of person that likes to like understand and empathize with people, but it comes to a certain point to where like enough is enough, you know? But
that's a whole nother thing. We're also, we're around the time.
Goddamn!
I'm also learning that your bladder is probably a better timer than any timer that we have set up over there.
That should be on a t-shirt. New merch line, girls.
It'll just be one of those like old school kitchen timers, but instead of like an apple or
it's something. A penis that goes like on a fucking...
No.
Oh shit.
I was gonna say, it's a bladder. Oops. It's a little bladder.
That's filling up with water?
Yeah, you like twist it, it like fills up with water, and it's like, ding, your cookies are done.
My name is Torres. Thanks for coming to our podcast.
I was gonna ask for any updates on anything. I think the last podcast
right.
you had entered a contest of some type, or you had submitted for some kind of something.
Anything update? I participated in the Tom of Finland Emerging Artist Award. I submitted some photography that I did, so I don't think I've heard back from it yet, but I submitted for that and just been applying to.
This is not going to come out for like another month, so.
I think it should be fine. Yeah, but yeah, I've also been wanting to like teach for college levels, so I've been looking for that too. And just been decorating my home, trying to get it done, so.
Oh yeah, I was trying to figure out if we actually wanted to make this like a formal podcast format where like we have like a segment we do every podcast or not. And I was like, we either do it at the end or at the beginning. Maybe we should just do it at the beginning. Like maybe it'd be better. I don't know if it'd be better to open the podcast with that or not. But the whole talking about like, oh, you know, any fun food stuff we've been doing recently or anything like that, right? Because we really like that was kind of like how we bonded. Like really was over food and cooking and just spending time in the kitchen. And like your kitchen is one of the very few kitchens that like in the old apartment that like I was very comfortable in because I've just cooked in it so much. You know, I still have to learn your new kitchen, but like that's what we've done, right? So there's just been a lot of like co-cooking and like that kind of stuff and like cutthroat kitchen style sometimes of have fun.
Sure, whatever. You and like a lot of my other friends have really taught me how to cook because like I'm a great, excellent sous chef. I feel like I know enough dishes to cook for people.
Okay, so I don't know if this podcast.
Oh, sorry.
That's a whole nother. I don't want to go into that. We're already at 54 minutes.
I made toast with blueberries and cottage cheese
this morning.
Yeah, with honey and salt.
That's actually quite nice. Oh yeah, because you were mentioning you were wanting to like get into like blitzing the cottage cheese for like a nicer texture and stuff, right?
What about you?
Have I done anything fun? I made buckwheat for the first time yesterday.
Oh, that was really good.
Yeah, I went over to Super King Market for the first time like last week, and I was like, ooh, there's so many fun different things here, you know? And so I grabbed a package of buckwheat, which I didn't realize afterwards was like Russian, I guess. And I didn't realize it was a very like Russian thing or maybe Eastern European, but this one specifically was like product of Russia on the thing. it was just cheap. And I was like, I've heard buckwheat's good for you. So I pulled it off the shelf and I made it savory with, so I cooked it in chicken broth and then I added on eggs and that red onion.
Really
what is it? The pickled red onions I've been
pickled red
making.
onion
Oh, which I have a
vinegar.
jar for you, by the way. So I have to remember to give it to you. I forgot to give it to you before, but I have to give it to you now. I think it was just, and then I chopped up some like portuguese Hawaiian sausages to go inside of it to make it kind of like a savory buckwheat oats bowl kind of thing. So that was really nice. That was a new thing for me to try. I was not happy with how I cooked the buckwheat necessarily because like the New York Times recipe was like, crack an egg into the dry buckwheat and like mix it around and then like in a pan, put it in and coat it and like make it dry and like it came out fine, but I think next time I was like, I just can really simplify this and like there's a better way of doing it and I think I know better. I kind of just did it according to directions first time around and now that I've done it, I'm like, okay, cool, I'm going to alter it now next time and like do it better.
She's really good at improvising.
So, yes.
But yeah.
It's great. So, that was our fun food stuff recently. I think as far as my updates, I did the surf competition, which I mentioned, which was great and it was super fun. And I was absolutely terrified right before going on. But it was okay. I completely gassed out in my 15-minute. It's a 15-minute heat. Maybe I'll talk about that more in the next podcast.
15-minute heat.
15, 1-5.
I know. I was trying to make a gay sex joke there.
Ooh, I'm not gay enough to catch that one.
50 minutes. I usually take an hour or two.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I ended up going to come back to that. You said I was going to improv, and then I got in my head, and I can't do that. Numbers are hard.
But no, I'm glad. That's exciting.
It was fun. It was exciting. So, yeah. I don't think I have any other... what do I have as far as like updates now for the rest of the month? I don't know. We'll find something. I don't know. I think it's fun. I know not everyone cares about food, but also that's why we're talking about it and you're not. So, you know.
Thank you so much, guys, for listening to our podcast. And we'll see you again next week. Bye.